Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. It's Matchday 37 in the Premier League. It's an FA Cup final weekend. The Bundesliga and Ligue 1 will wrap up this weekend, and we have plenty of drama around Europe with a big top four race in Germany, in Italy. There's stuff going on in Spain as well. I expect that title to be decided by the time you guys are listening to this podcast. But welcome back. I'm Andrew Passaro. He's Nick Dianni. Please subscribe and like the show if you are not already. And if you are interested in a weekly newsletter, sign up. It's in the bio of this episode. It's free. Nick, how are we feeling? There's two more weekends or three more weekends of club football. How are we feeling about that? Are we excited? A little depressed? Excited for the season to end? What's the vibes right now?
Little depressed. I think that's the right word. We've been so hot. We've been on a heater really the entire back half of the season, but certainly the past month or so or 2 months. So it does suck that that's coming to an end, but fortunately there's a lot for us to lose our money on this coming summer with these tournaments. I don't know how much listeners will or won't, but the Gold Cup is something I'm very interested in getting every single bet wrong. So I think there's enough to hold us through, and before you know it, it'll be August and we'll be ready to go all over again.
Yeah, I'm Liverpool are in full on, oh yeah, we're just buying everyone now before the season ends. So I'm like, that's what I'm locked in for. But that being said, we have Friday afternoon action in the Premier League. The two teams playing in the Europa League final are gonna play Friday afternoon. Chelsea will play Manchester United. Aston Villa will take on Tottenham. The lines for both of these pretty atrocious. So what I did is I'm fading both of the teams that are playing in the Europa League final because they have been so bad in the Premier League. This is, I feel like, the best way to do it. All I'm going to do is a quick, simple, easy parlay. We're taking money line for Chelsea and money line for Aston Villa. We're putting over 1.5 goals in both of those games. That gets you to a plus number. It's plus 112. Tottenham 1-1-6 in their last eight in the Premier League. That is six losses. And Manchester United 0 wins, 2 wins, or 0 wins, 2 draws, 5 losses in their last 7 games in the Premier League. That gets you to plus money. It might be too many, options and variables for people, but frankly, I think Manchester United are going to put kids out there. I think Tottenham, now that Kulusevski and James Maddison are both injured, aren't going to take this very seriously. Try to get everybody on as they can healthy on the plane to Bilbao for the middle of the week. Both Chelsea and Aston Villa need every point they can get to qualify for European spots right now. So I'm not overcomplicating it. But if there's anything else you like for either of those games, feel free to weigh in.
I dig it. We're riding. Let's go.
All right. FA Cup final. Crystal Palace take on Manchester City. This is a resurgent Crystal Palace. And this is a Manchester City team that was very frustrated that they could not break down Southampton last weekend. I have three props that I like for this game. I am going to take both teams to score in over 2.5 at minus 105. It's very dangerous in a final. However, it's hit in three of the last five FA Cup finals. The last two finals with Manchester City, they've played in back to back. Both of those ended 2-1. I'm going to take an Eze shot on target at minus 135. He's done that in 6 of his last 10. And I'm going to close with a juicy one at plus 215. A lot of people are going to try to talk you into, are we taking Crystal Palace to lift the cup? Are we taking the money line? I don't think the value is there personally, but where I do find value is Crystal Palace team total over 1.5 at plus 215. They have scored 2 or more goals in 5 of the last 6 head-to-head matchups with Manchester City. I know it's going to be a very wide pitch.
Big stat.
It's a different situation, but here's the thing. We've seen Crystal Palace got a 3-0 victory in the semifinal against Aston Villa. They blew Aston Villa out of the water in the FA Cup semifinal, also at Wembley. I think this is a big stage for Crystal Palace. I think they'll go for this. Making a European competition for next year would be massive for them. I can't take them. I can't in good conscience take them and bet against Manchester City to lose 2 FA Cup finals in a row. At the end of the day, Pep tends to win trophies, but what are you seeing that I'm probably missing?
No, I think your head's on straight. I mean, it's not exactly apples to apples, but compare it to the Milan Bologna Coppa Italia final yesterday, right? Like this is going to mean an awful lot more to one side. While the other side's kind of having a down year. So could we see a little bit of a parallel? Would not shock me to see Manchester City lift this trophy in the slightest, but I think I know who we're all rooting for. So proof is in the pudding. They've gotten this far. They've done it convincingly. I think there's goals in this game. So I will agree with that. I'm going to give a play that does include goals, but I do want to throw out a caveat. I am giving every single play I'm giving on the show today will be plus money. We're doing a heat check. I think I'm coming off of back-to-back 8-win weeks on the pod here. So everything that I am putting out, I usually live in that like minus 120, minus 130 realm. Everything's going to be plus money or better this week. So I'm going over 1.5 first half goals plus 145.
Oh, we'll be back with that prop later in the show because that one's on the cards big time for the Bundesliga later in the show.
All right.
I love early goals in this game. That's juicy. It's fun. A good start to an FA Cup is always a good time. I love a final with goals early. Let's keep rolling in England. There's two more games I want to talk about. Brentford are taking on Fulham. Brentford, you want to talk about a heat check? 6 games unbeaten, 4 straight wins. Their money line minus 110. Fulham just 1 win in their last 5 against Southampton, and in their last 10, just 3 wins and 7 losses. I'm not overcomplicating it. Brentford money line minus 110.
Yeah, that's the play. Unfortunately, that does not fall into the rule that I have provided here. This is exactly the type of game that I would get wrong fading Fulham because of everything you just said. We haven't really been right on this team. It's exactly the game that they will come in and fuck up everything that we're looking to do. Fulham double chance plus 110. It'll be the weird result of the weekend.
Brentford, I will say this, Brentford need every point that they can get because they're not fully out of a European spot, so this would totally derail them. But yes, Fulham and Brentford, no, Fulham and Brighton have just been killing this podcast all year long.
Yes.
So we move to the biggest game in the Premier League this weekend. Newcastle are taking on Arsenal. Here's some fun facts real quick. Um, Newcastle have won 3 of the matchups this season, all 3, and 4 of the last 5 head-to-head. Typically, the Emirates is a tough place for Arsenal to go. It's a far distance, obviously coming from all the way up north down to London. But Arsenal winless in their last 5 in all comps. Mikel Merino suspended. Declan Rice is injured. There's a lot of players out for Arsenal. Newcastle double chances minus 130, but I think you can put some chips on the table and take the draw no bet at plus 180. Team total over 1.5 is plus 180 for Newcastle, which they've hit in 3 of the last 5 and the last 2 head-to-head matchups. Isak, anytime goal scorer, plus 180, scored in 2 of the 3 matchups against Arsenal this last year, and 4 of his last 8 in all comps coming off the international break. 2 shots on target is plus 190. He does not have a good reputation with getting multiple shots on target, so I'm not going to ride that. But our boy, our Italian prince, Tonali, 1 shot on target, plus 210. He's hit that in 4 of his 8 coming off the international break. 2 shots is plus 280. He's hit that in 3 of the last 8 coming off the international break. Are we both on Newcastle here? Are we just fully fading Arsenal right now?
Yeah, no, we definitely are. And listen, it's difficult to beat a team 4 times in a season. It's not unprecedented. We've just seen Barcelona do that, but it definitely is difficult. That being said, Arsenal are in free fall. Everything you mentioned, their defense is just not very good. They're banged up. Newcastle are looking to solidify their spot, maybe even potentially pass Arsenal. Newcastle team total over 1.5 is what I had. I actually saw it at plus 170. So if you're saying it's plus 180, even better.
A lot of plus 180s weirdly around that game. I'm trying not to fall more in love with that game, but there's a lot to think about. I need to find something Arsenal to bet just to cover myself a little bit, but we digress. Let's move to Europe. We'll go to Italy. You talked about Bologna. Congratulations to them. A very big Coppa Italia win yesterday over in Milan, and we will talk about Milan in a little bit. Bologna's first trophy in 51 years for the Coppa Italia. So huge for them. Very curious how they're going to play coming off of this. Champions League is not out of sight here. So they are definitively in Europe, which is a big achievement in itself, especially after losing their 2 best players and losing their manager. But Fiorentina are in free fall right now. They're traveling to Florence. Fiorentina 1 draw, 3 losses in their last 4. Got absolutely rocked by Venezia on Monday. Horrendous performance, in my opinion. I'm going to take Bologna draw no bet at even money. It's hitting 4 of the last 5 league matches head to head. And could I talk you into team total over 1.5 at plus 190? I feel like
Good.
I almost. My thing with Bologna is they don't score a ton of goals. They're like Roma. They'll win the game 1-0. It's only hitting 3 of their last 10, but Fiorentina have given up 2 or more in 4 of their last 10 games. At plus 190, if it got to plus 200, I'd take it. At plus 190, I don't know. I maybe need a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'm being
Yeah,
greedy.
I'll provide you with the somewhat safer option. Over 2.5 for the game, plus 120. I think
Ooh.
situationally, both of these teams have to go for full points in this one. So I definitely see a 2-1 game, 2-2 game. Fiorentina's defense has not been good. Bologna, one of two things. They're going to be riding really high and carry that momentum, or they're going to be hungover. Either way, that makes for goals. So
Yeah.
I am here for the game total, over 2.5 plus 120.
I like it. All right, another team that's on a heat check right now. Verona are taking on Como. Como, 6 wins in a row right now. Verona, no wins in their last seven, 4 draws, 3 losses. Como money line plus 110. I love it. And team
Done.
total over 1.5 is plus 126. They've only done that in 3 of their last 6 of those wins, but I think we just keep riding Como right now.
Say
Why?
less. We're
Yeah.
taking a money line at plus money until the books stop offering it. And quite honestly, Hellas is one team I am comfortable fading no matter what the situation is. So with you.
All right, this is a game I'm very interested with how we're going to attack it. It's Roma, it's Milan. Both of these teams need every point they can get. With Milan losing in the Copa, they are in the possibility of not being in any European spot right now, which next year would be extremely dangerous for them financially. They're already moving on from their manager. They have a lot of questions of players that haven't really stepped up and been playing to their potential all year. Um, that being said, they were on a really good run up until the Copa final. They did not play well in that final, I thought. Roma money line is plus 140. Draw no bet is minus 130. Both teams to score in over 2.5 is minus 115. I think that's where I'm leaning because I think, like you just mentioned, we're gonna get a desperation here and get some Hail Marys. Um, both teams to score in over 2.5. I could, it's generally more in the Milan games than the Roma games. Like I said, Roma loves a 1-0 result. Um, but I lean Roma. I lean both teams to scoring over 2.5. Are you going to talk me to Milan here?
I'm going to try. What can we do? We could take a Roma 1-0 correct score or Roma to score exactly one goal like they've done the past 9 games, I believe. No, Milan has to be a little bit more desperate. Now, top four is not out of the question for Roma, which, I mean, kudos
Is
to them.
is a
For
miracle.
I, I don't even have any other word I could put out there. It's incredible that they've gotten to this point. But you hit the nail on the head. Milan needs something out of this game to ensure some sort of European competition. We already talked about Fiorentina, Bologna. I mean, those are two teams ahead of Milan. We have Lazio ahead of them, Juve ahead of them, obviously this Roma side ahead of them. Lot to do. So if they don't come out hungry, especially after losing their only chance at silverware, you might as well blow up the entire team. I don't even know that there's anything else to do besides get rid of just about everybody not named Pulisic, maybe Leao. Draw no bet plus 105, over 1.5 goals for Milan is plus 130. I think they need 2 goals in this one. I cannot imagine they get shut out back-to-back games. Roma obviously has played good. Svilar has been probably the keeper of the season in Serie A, or if not one of them. But uh, this is Milan's last chance to come out firing and show that they have a little bit of something to salvage the season by.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with you on all of those, and that's why I think the safe play for me is just both teams to score in over 2.5. I really would love for the story of Roma to finish top four or to finish near there. I do have a Bologna top four ticket, so these two somehow ending in a draw would be big for me. We're not going to mention Inter, Lazio. I don't know how to handicap that because with Inter, I don't know how much rotations there's going to be. I'm sure Nick has thoughts, and you can find them and on other forums. Let's go to Germany. It's 9:30 Saturday morning, final match day. A lot happening right now at the top with European spots. We're attacking 3 games that have European situations. Mainz are going to play Leverkusen. This is Leverkusen's last game, most likely with Xabi Alonso, Jeremy Frimpong, potentially Florian Wirtz, Jonathan Tah. This team is going to get stripped down for parts this summer. Um, I'm on Mainz here. They need a win to qualify for Europe. And RB Leipzig are right behind them. There's 2 ways I think you can play this. Money line is plus 110. I also don't mind first half over 1.5 at plus 116. It's hitting three of the last five for Mainz and two of the last five for Leverkusen. It kind of protects you either way if one of these teams scores goals early or you get a both teams to score first half. Um, I think Mainz are going to want to try to get settle the nerves early, score some goals. I wouldn't be shocked if Leverkusen score first, but um, I like both of those to be totally honest. Mainz have been a very good team. They scored a lot of goals this season. One of the best strikers in the league this season too.
Yeah, listen, I like your logic. I'm kind of there. Typically, that's what I would jump all over, but something about this Leverkusen number just give me a little bit of a pause. Draw no bet plus 120 on Leverkusen. I think they kind of want to go out with a bang. I think there's an element of them that want to play spoiler. I don't think they're going to lay down, right? I'm not saying Mines don't have all the incentive in the world or aren't going to come out prepared for this game. I just don't think Leverkusen have it in them to hand out a victory to another team. So mine's going to have to earn it. Give me Leverkusen. Draw no bet. I think plus 120 wouldn't shock me if this game ended even.
Fair, very fair. All right, we jump to Freiburg and Frankfurt. This is three playing four, and Dortmund is on heels for both of them. I think Dortmund is like minus 1,300 money line this weekend. We will talk about that game in a moment. Over 3.5 has hit in two of the last five for both, but three straight head to head. It's plus 125. I think this is a kitchen sink game. I think we're gonna get a ton of goals. I love the first half over 1.5 here. It's hitting three of the last five for Frankfurt or for Freiburg, only one of the last five for Frankfurt. This game is in the both teams to score parlay. If there's one game that you're watching Saturday morning at 9:30, it better be this game. Hugo Ekitike anytime I think is an option too. I don't know what the
Yeah.
number
Hey,
is,
listen,
but
we're back on the same page. We're right where I like to be. Over 3.5. I actually saw it at plus 130, so I
there we
like
go.
it even more. I think should be all out action. There's player props are actually like pretty low. There's guys who I would expect to be in plus 300 range for goal score, plus 300 range for assists that are like in the low twos. So pick your spots carefully, but there should be at least four goals in this game.
Yeah, Hugo Ekitike anytime is plus 130 for anytime goal scorer. Again, it could be his last game for Frankfurt as well. He's been heavily linked to the Premier League. Liverpool in particular have been tipped. The reason that game is important is because of this game. Borussia Dortmund are hot right now. They've been storming up the Bundesliga table. They're playing Holstein Kiel. Here's the thing about Kiel though. They score goals. They lose, but they score goals. Both teams to
Are they
score.
relegated?
I don't remember. Let's check that real quick. I
I
know
guess
they were
I could have come
like
prepared with facts. That's my bad.
no, I also it's one of those things that I looked at last night when I was like looking up stuff for this game and I don't know why I didn't write it down. Um looking at the table right now, they are relegated. They have nothing to play for. They cannot catch Heidenheim. Um but they score goals. Both teams to score is hitting 7 of the last 10 for Dortmund, 8 of the last 10 for Kiel. It's minus 126. Playing that on its own. You want to get crazy with it. Holstein Kiel, first goal is plus 420. They've done that in 6 straight matches. Okay.
No way.
Additionally, is there a more Tottenham team in Germany than Borussia Dortmund?
Oh man, what an
Okay.
analogy.
Like there isn't. They are the habitual, always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Second place. They had the opportunity to win the Bundesliga on the last day 2 years ago. All they had to do was beat a not good Bundesliga team, and they absolutely pissed down their leg. Um, it's hitting two of the Dortmund have given up the first goal in two of their last five. Like I said, it's 6 straight for Holstein. I think first half Holstein Kiel goal at plus 192, which is also hitting 6 straight and 7 of their last 10, is a little way to like maybe if the plus 420 isn't crazy enough for you. I like I said, I think we get both teams to score is probably the lock. But if you're looking for two other like, whoa, that's crazy, but I kind of love it. There you go.
Yeah, we're putting a lot of pressure on Dortmund in this one to win and to win convincingly with these odds. So I've never seen a plus 2.5 that I didn't like. Kiel plus 2.5, plus 125. I think Dortmund, I'm not going to say they struggle. I think they win the game, but would not surprise me to see it being kept close. And by close, I mean not a blowout, not, 3-goal win or more. So if we think they get on the score sheet, which you do, if we think they could score first, which you do, um, we got a shot to cover the spread and cover it pretty convincingly. I think a goal goes a long way because Dortmund would then need to put up four in order for this bet to lose.
Yeah, there we go. I like both of those. All right, the both teams to score parlay for Saturday. I'm gonna try to find something for Sunday. It's a weird weekend because there's a ton of games on at the same time. Yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. Plus 247. We're going back to that Frankfurt and Freiburg game. It's hitting 6 of the last 7 head-to-head games and 7 of the last 10 Freiburg games. It's only 4 of 10 for Frankfurt. Then we go to France. Ligue 1. Strasbourg are taking on Le Havre. I like saying a lot of these names very pretentiously because it's French. It's 6 of the last 10 for Strasbourg, 9 of the last 10 for Le Havre, and 5 straight. And both teams need a result here. Strasbourg chasing a European spot. Le Havre trying to avoid relegation. So I'm expecting goals there. And it's hitting 3 of the last 4 head-to-head games. Going to the MLS where I've found, I don't know if I'm finding success, but it's one way to try. Charlotte taking on Chicago, 7 of the last 10 Fire games and 6 of the last 10 for Charlotte, 4 straight. Both teams to score, plus 247. That's your Saturday parlay. I'll try to get something together for Sunday. I guess it would have to be. I think there's La Liga Sunday, and I'm pretty sure there's Premier League. So I don't know. We'll find something. You can find that on the social channels, which, like I mentioned, subscribe, like, review, do that whole thing, and follow us on the socials at Andrew Passaro at Nick Dianni. And we'll see you guys next week as we get ready for they call it Championship Sunday in the Premier League, but it's really just Liverpool get the title. They get the trophy
Hey,
finally.
man, top four, top
Yeah,
five, I should
yeah,
say. Got
yeah.
to
I
be
think
decided.
Chelsea are going to play Nottingham Forest next weekend, which is going to have major European implications because
Has
um
anybody had a worse month and a half than to Nottingham Forest? I mean, for as good as the Plus Money podcast has been, Nottingham Forest has been the opposite.
Fiorentina.
Maybe, but they were never in top four.
That's fair. That's very fair. Yeah, Nottingham Forest. It's not an official pick. I'm probably going to take West Ham this weekend. Draw no bet. I think is a plus number.
If West Ham are favorites, I would take West Ham.
I don't think any but hold on. I'm saying this as if I don't have the ability to look at the number right now. Uh, West Ham are plus 170 and Nottingham Forest are plus 160. So
Yeah, okay.
it's pretty much a crapshoot. That's why I'm saying West Ham draw no bet if it's at even money. I think you sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle,
I could
sprinkle.
see it.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Enjoy and
Good
bet
luck.
responsibly. Stay safe.